off the jump, we're going to see if we can get that first chat message to come up. Maybe.
I guess we'll see. Who's stopping in right off the jump? There we go. Thanks for stopping in. Look at that. We got ourselves a little chat bot up here. Doing its thing. For some reason still showing up as a block. We don't want that anymore. Sorry for the arm view. There we go. And then it made the actual thing go away. And that's just the background color that we did. Alright, well, it did it and then it broke it immediately. So I guess that's fine. Let's go ahead and try to refresh that. We are organizing markers today, and then we're working on a logo. So, you might be asking why we're looking at a keyboard, and that's because it took me forever to get this camera just to work. And we should be able to get it to move around now, but it's, you know, we're just hoping it doesn't give you more problems tonight. We will move that camera away from the keyboard as our first leap of faith on this stream. See how that goes. Let me run a little test thing here. We're going to try to get that message back up by writing it again. See how that goes. Because it's still up on my screen, but it's not up on the actual, like, chat screen. There we go. Thanks for stopping in. It's there twice. Wonderful. I think it's because we went into the settings and edited something. So we're going to be using this fancy board that we used to draw on last time we did an art stream. That was physical art. Like marker art, that kind of thing. But instead of looking at a notebook, because we won't be doing that. We won't be looking at a notebook. We have this fancy sheet of white paper for use once we get done with these markers. But first, markers. So, I got this. See if I can't get it on screen here. Little marker organizer kit. Five Below. Spent $5 on it because, you know, everything at Five Below is $5 now. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So we're going to fill these with markers. But first we're going to go ahead and open that up. Nice little foley in here. Try not to be too abrasive on the mic even though it's very loud. It's very shiny. Sorry for the noise. I really am trying to keep it down here. Maybe I should bring the mic away a little bit. Turn that gain down just a tad. Everything is condensed pretty hard right now because we're, you know, trying to capture most of the noise here. Like the art noise. We're trying to get like marker scratches and stuff like that. So for a little bit more aggressive than that, it's going to sound pretty nasty. It's like we're trying to make sound effects here. We're not. That's the idea. Alright. So we got this wonderful 3x3 grid here. This thing is on a slope, so it wants to fall. But the problem we have is that this is how the markers come, right? Like this is a box of Cali art markers. And when I say box, that's very generous because really what this is a bag that's just full of markers of different shapes and sizes. It's a little bit crazy. This will probably be the thumbnail here. This guy. Look at that nonsense. But if you notice, every time you like shift it even a little bit, the markers change position. If you pull one out and you put it back in, it's gonna just kind of like move everything else. This drives me nuts. Like, this is why I don't even use these markers most of the time. Because, not because they're bad markers, they're great markers. But, because every time I use one, I feel like everything's shifting on me, and I'm gonna forget where I put the colors. So we're gonna organize these today. Before we do any art, we're gonna fix our tools. So let's see if we can't get that back here. Let's see if we can figure out a good camera position for this as well. Maybe something like, yeah. Can we zoom out even further? We can. Do we want to? Now we have a camera in view of our camera. It's pretty amazing. Let's see. So this big mess, it's got to become something that makes sense. If we run out of room in this one, we have another one. Because this is a lot of markers. So this works at least for now. So let's just Roy G. Biv to start. See how we can do with that. Here's an R21. Ooh, that's pretty loud stuff. An R20. That's, sorry, 218. This is 207 here. I don't know if the numbers actually mean anything. If somebody could tell me that, that'd be great. Here's a 107. Oh, maybe we can do all the 07s together. Because here's a 607. I don't know if we're going to find all the ones that end in 7. How about that? How about all the ones that end in 7? Here's a 317. Here's a 427. 417. Ought to be nearby, but we have already ran out of room in our marker thing. So maybe that's how that's going to go. Here, let's get the 60 out of there. That one doesn't really match very well. 4-1 and 4-2 can go together. These ones look kind of like lipstick with the way they're all these fancy shades of red. 4-3-7. If they have an R, they're for sure going to be in these first slots, no matter what. It looks like some of the purples are R's as well, so we'll try to keep it at least somewhat organized here. Here's a 604, 605. So those are right in a row. We got a 403 here. Might put that over here. 304. Those are almost the same color. A 427. And this is a 105? Can I get that like right up there? I really don't know that if I would even call that red. That's kind of like in the peach territory, but maybe we can drop that in somewhere. Yeah, orange is going to be tricky. We're going to have to get everything that kind of feels like an orange. Because if you see this, I got a little orange zone here. And then I have something that maybe feels like an orange hiding over here. It's like a goldenrod type deal. And maybe we can fit that in. We got a few other orangey yellows kind of mixed in here. So that's going to get real interesting. So maybe we can try to start making sense of those. Here's a Y505. Bunch of Ys. A bunch of them are Ys. If they're Ys, I think maybe they should be starting this new category that we have here. We have RYs and RYs, Bs, and Gs. So if we can get the numbers as similar as possible to stick together, I feel like that's going to give us a good start. But if it's anything like what just happened, the numbers are going to kind of jump around. So we have some 900s here. Here's a 500. That's at least in the same ballpark. 608 seems a little off, but I'll run with it for now. I wish I knew what the numbers meant, to be honest. I have a feeling like the 3 digits are supposed to represent something. But I don't actually know. So these ones are very, like, almost peach. Which tells me that this one would actually fit in with them pretty well. There's 701, 812. We've got a lot of peachy colors there. I'm wondering if we have another, like, actual orange that'll fit in here somewhere and make more sense than what I have going. CaliArt packaged this with a thank you letter. And the color test page that we have not used. Amazing. So it's starting to look, you know, sort of mentally organized now, but still a little, you know, it's a work in progress. Let me get this chat screen off the thing so I can see if anyone actually comes in and looks at this. Alright, so we're going to do this for a little while. And I'm just going to try to keep talking through my thinking here because this is a bit of a mess. Here's a 623. I think that fits in there pretty nice. It's a little bit Reese's Pieces, which tells me that it's not like all the same color family, really. But mainly because this red shouldn't really be there at all. Maybe we can swap that to down there. Put this up here. I feel like that's a little better. These 2 dark browns should actually be all the way to the right, I think. I think that helps. This orange does not fit in. It's like the deepest, most orange that I have in this set. It's like it is the color orange for this set. So I think next I'm going to take some of these really light color R's that are like almost pink to white. And we're going to try to like run this cognitively to that, like starting from really dark red into like a white red. Here's the 0. This is that colorless blender marker that we had the other day, except the CaliArt version of it. So we'll throw that down there as well. It doesn't have a letter designation. It's just the 0. Here's a GC. I guess there's some grays in here as well. Don't want to do all the grays just yet. Here's a wide 710. Also almost white, but definitely more on the yellow scale. So we'll put that over there. And do the same thing with the yellows. We'll go from orange to white and red to white. But we'll go to orange to white through yellow. And I think that'll sort of make sense. And this will be like our warm palette. We have another one of these plastic things that will make the cold palette. And then we'll have one of each where they kind of mix and match and pick from either one. Yeah, that sounds like something that you could do. Right? So by that logic, if we take some of these, whatever pinks we have left, we have a lot of pinks. I think these purples are in the wrong spot now. These ones that are like a little too dark, like maybe this should be part of the cold set instead of the warm set. And maybe we should just focus on like hard yellows instead. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think maybe we're gonna take these ones back out. At least these 5. 604 and 503 look like they might be in the right area, but these ones all look a little bluish. So we'll put those back down here to match up with the purples later. Let's save these two up here just in case we come up with a good reason for them. And we'll start trying to fill in some more yellows instead. Red, orange, yellow, right? So that's a very strong yellow. These are some mustardy yellows. We have some like browns in here too that I feel like flow from that yellow over. Is that what you would call a cold yellow? It looks a little green. Maybe. We'll see. Here's the yellows that belong down here. Some more of them anyway. Straight up Y000. It's like a yellow blank. So weird. This whole set is very strange. Here's another pink. The browns are driving me nuts now. I think maybe we just get them all in for now. And we figure out where they're going to go later. Y225. If I was ever going to do art of like an egg, I would start with all this. Alright, so I think these maybe actually go there. Okay. So we're kind of out of space a little bit. These four don't really belong anywhere, do they? I feel like that guy belongs up there with those. But it's so light colored, perhaps it actually belongs down here. This will trade those. Yeah, that's that right there. This right here is right where it should be. We are way off the view. Guys, you should have said something. Okay, there we go. You say, hey Ryan, your marker cam is way off. I would have fixed it. I promise, I would have fixed it. It would have been great. What else can we do here? Got a lot of pinks. We're out of our dead markers over there. So I'm just gonna say this now. If this is warm, I think I can make an argument for this guy going in. Then these three, I think maybe if I move these ones over, I can maybe like sneak them into this setup a little bit by making them part of the red scale here. Something like that. Can we make more room? Something like that. We're a little off, but I think that's okay. We're almost there. Is there one more marker we can fit in? It's like a solid black. Something like that for our first set. Everything's got 6 markers in it. It's looking decent, I think. All right. So time for our second box here. We'll bring this one over. Somebody's been sitting in our Twitch chat this whole time. Ugh. That's a whole lot of rattling. They haven't said much, but I do appreciate them being here. Let's see if we got anything else going on. I don't think we're going to be hitting our average of 3 viewers. Or getting more subscribers. This is a very unconventional stream. Both for our channel and in general. I don't see people doing like organization tasks all that much. Perhaps in the just chatting thing, but we actually did, I think we designated this as an art stream. Because it will be, eventually. Alright, so this one should be a little bit more fun. It's greens and blues and grays. And whatnot. A few pinks still left over that I think are going to sneak into this one. Are we halfway? I don't know. I don't actually know if we... Even if we put all these in here, we might be a few markers short of our goal. Which is fine. So we should start with the greeniest of the green, right? That's what I'm feeling. I feel like we start with the greeniest of the green and we kind of go from there. We get into these, like, more earthy greens. Some gray greens. I think this one's too bright to be up there. I think maybe this other dark one ought to go up there. Similarly, yeah. Now we're talking. We might be able to move into some blues here as well. Get all of our darkest blues. Kind of throw them up there. Seems right. And then we can kind of move into the purples over here. This one blue is going to sneak up with the purples because it's kind of, you know, in that indigo range. Let's see what we got. Something like that. Straight up, like Nintendo indigo. That R839. Love it. Alright, we got some more like hard greens that don't appear to be extremely blue. They're not, I wouldn't actually call them hard greens, but you know what I mean, like you wouldn't really call them blue or teal or indigo or whatever. You would call them green if you looked at it. So I think those should kind of stick together a little bit. Let's see. This one might be able to pop over one. Okay, we're running out of markers in the bag. That's a good sign. We are not. They're not manageable as they are. I will say that as a point of difficulty here, because there's not enough in the bag to keep them afloat. They want to fall all over the place. All right, we have a bunch of grays. Neutral colors. And the like. We have some that are specifically designated as blue-gray. That one says white-gray on it. Not sure what that's about. I gotta get this bag to act like there's not so many markers in it. It's a challenge. I'm gonna say that this green's gonna go down here, even though it's not really gray. Green gray. Blue gray. Whatever N gray means, NG. WG we've been calling white gray. I don't know if that's accurate. So G401, we're gonna put that over there. Now I feel like that belongs down there. This belongs like up top. But we'll leave it down there for now. Okay. Some more blues we have. Maybe we can throw the teals in here. We have a bunch of teals. So that's going to be a problem too. I think we're just about out of space. I should have bought 3 of these apparently. Because that's everything. Here's the... Whoa. Here's the unused markers. Like the unstacked ones. We got a list of like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 markers short of a whole scheme here. So yeah, we should have gotten another thing. I don't think there's a way we can fit these in. Because even like if you just really jammed it, it wouldn't stay. Like notice. You can get it started, but you can't actually like getting it in is a problem. We don't want to force that. So I think we're done here for now. This is what we got. These ones feels bad not being able to fit them in. I'm wondering if we have anything else that we can use for these last ones. Because maybe we can take all like the grays and remove those and just have the colors in here, and then we'll do the grayscale as its own separate thing, you know? I feel like that might be a good way to do it. Let's see if we can't do that. And remove 12 of these grays. So like the ones that just really don't feel like a color as much. The WGs for sure. I think the NGs can come out. CG can maybe stay. BG can stay. GG can stay. Alright, and suddenly we're like out of things we were trying to accomplish with that. Alright, so These blues are bothering me where they are because they're not where they should be. If we had more of a purple coloring somewhere, it would be better. I guess some like the deepest purples. That's a white gray. That have not found a home. Take care of all these GGs. Maybe fit that guy down there. Something like that. These reds just do not quite fit in, but I feel like the real issue here is that these are all up one too high, and really they should be up there like that. I think that makes more sense than whatever we were doing before. Please, 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 please. Enough. That makes more sense, right? These, that's a little bit of a stick out there. Probably shouldn't be like that. That one's pretty dark. It really feels like that one should be there too. Maybe that one's too green. Whoa. That one's way too blue. Something like that. Take that one out. Put this one. It's a little bit off where I think it should be, but also these two are very dark. Alright. So that's all the colors at least. And then what we have left over. Oh no! We have like a hard purple too. Alright, let's take that guy. Oh, no, not that one. These CGs that have 4 numbers, let's get those out of there. Put the blue-gray back in. Okay, so then what we have left over is this. A bunch of neutrals. We have all the colors organized. Kind of. I like that better, but we do need, we're probably going to have to get another one of these bins at some point for that to really work. Anywho, that's it for our marker organizing segment. What good would organizing them be if we didn't then figure out what we were going to do about actually doing some art? Originally, I was going to try and, what do you call it? I have another thing of markers somewhere hiding here that we're going to try to do some stuff with. This is like not a helpful view of anything. But these will live in here. Oh, there they are. So I have this set here that is also like, it's grays and browns. So when we get our actual, like, our last organizer, we can do all that together. That'll be our last, hopefully last marker organizer stream. Because if I get another one of these, I can put all these neutrals in, and then hopefully I can actually put Sharpies into it too, because that's the other marker that we like to use a lot, is the Sharpies. Anyway, let's get back to the whole reason that we're here today. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Run out of space here. Alright. Stick this back here. Our fancy schmancy piece of paper. I had a guide that I was going to use. It would appear as though I said it somewhere. I didn't remember, but don't worry. Got another one. Alright, so this is like the actual project today. So we're going to do some logo art, but we're going to practice by doing some pin art here. So let's just get that trained in. Our camera, just right there on the pin stuff. So there's our circle. The camera's struggling a little bit with the focus of it, but that's what we're going to be working on. Just because, like, when we, make our little guide, then we know exactly how big to make the art to be. But because this is actually going to be a logo, or at least that's the idea, it actually helps us keep a circle frame on there too. SG14, what's up? Now your name says I am SG14. Welcome to the stream. I have some references that I'm supposed to be using for this as well. So let me get up my phone, and I can show you what the references is like. Meanwhile, this is going to keep jittering because this is actually resting on my lap. So, sorry, y'all. We don't have like a fixed setup yet. Hopefully one day we can manage that. Have a little desk extension or something. Let's give the camera something to focus on. Alright, so over here we have some images that we saved that are inspiration for what we're doing. YouTube won't let me use just SG14. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Alright, so we have this. It's a magic card called Saz's Chocobo. And this was meant to be like the inspiration for a logo. I have a bit of an echo when I speak. Alright, let me figure out if there's a way I can fix that. Maybe if I bring this up a little, but then bit of an echo. That might do something. Oh, you know what it might be? It might be the camera. The camera might have its own audio going on. Let me see if I can't figure that out. Yeah, the table cam's got its own microphone.
Did that fix it? That should have fixed it. Yeah, it was the camera. Sorry, it was like straight up feeding straight into OBS. Did that fix it? Is that better? Oof. Well, at least we knew. At least we were able to figure it out. All right, so Saz's Chocobo is one of the things here. But then we have these colors. Well, you don't see every single photo we have going on there. Some colors from the Traveling Chocobo card set. Now, our client, I'll say, has said any of these colors are probably good. And he wants the Chocobo to be wearing this headset, which is really just like swoops down into half a circle, and it's a black circle, so it's a PlayStation headset. That's some kanji. All right. So this is the main guy. So this is like what we're going to work off of with the artwork. I think the head turned away from the camera. I don't think that's going to work. I think we want it looking to the right. So instead of it like looking up at the person who's holding it, we're just going to draw a chick like this and have it looking forward-ish. That's the goal. So like, I'm going to try to get to that now. All right, so I think with a bird like this, the face is going to be really important, especially since part of the prompt we have is for it to be wearing a headset. So if we're trying to build a bird with a headset, we got to make sure that the head is prominent. It's cute with a headset too. That's the idea anyway. We'll see if it turns out cute. I don't know if it will. But we probably want it like face forward, right? Like I think you probably want the face to take up most of this. So we're just going to do some rough like imaging here. I think the body will come off of this. Kind of like that. I already regret where I put this. So let's try that again. I think the shape was good, the location is not. Because if we're trying to make this fit on a pin, you really don't want to get much closer than like that to the edges. So if the bird is going to be looking at the camera, then we want that head to be a little bit further up and to the right so we have room to actually put the body behind it. Something like that. Because then we can make that same like wing come up like this. It seems like they really want the chick style. We don't want to over detail it. Logos really shouldn't be that detailed. So we're going to give it 5 feathers, 5 like distinct feather marks. And no more than that, because I think that'll actually make it worse. Right? So the head comes through here. The thing I like about chocobos is they have like the little flare up in their feathers. So we're gonna try to incorporate that as best we can. Like they have the little crown coming off the back of their head. I think if we were looking at like this, you actually have like another one over there. So let's say that this is like the center line of the face. That'll be like where the eyes come around, and which means that the beak would actually start. The beak actually starts like up between the eyes. We're gonna give it like pretty sizable beak. It's got like a little parrot hook on the front. I don't know if that's just because it's a chick or if that's like standard for chocobo. Something like that. I think I've done the eye a little wrong here. I think we want it actually a little bit lower. Maybe like that. Well, it's a little bit of a bean shape. We're going to accentuate that bean shape because I think that'll make it look kind of cute. If instead of like a super distinct shape. We have like something that's a little more logo friendly, a little more simplified. We will still give it a little eye shimmers, something like that, right? And then gotta make sure. I think I did this beak hook a little off because I made it very much a profile when the truth is with the angle of the head, that beak should be coming to like right here, and then you should actually see just a little bit on the far side. Something more like that. If the proportions match, it helps with the cute factor too. So then it's got a little like nostril dot on there. Sorry, let me see if I can't bring this back in. So we're basically turning this thing's head a little bit, but we want to keep that detail right there. But it's very indistinct on the drawing. Like it doesn't really pop up very well. So I'm feeling like what we should do here is round that out a little bit there. It's almost like the little hook here points to it. It actually be up there like that. The one on the other side. I don't know if we'd actually see it or not, but so we're gonna have to shade this pretty good on the back end to make it obvious that that's like less space there. I actually don't know that we should see the nostril there because it would be like a slit. We drew that eye way too high. That's what our reference was supposed to keep us from doing. Okay, so second wing, right? We have this wing up here. Should actually be, we're gonna get rid of a little bit of the upper detail because that top feather should probably be the most important feather. It's the one that kind of guides the rest of them and makes it look more like a bird than a flaming nugget. Right? And then so that we can do the other side here. The other side, the wing is in the picture anyway, because the bird is turned. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So because the bird is turned, its face is out of the way of the wing, whereas in our little thing here, that wing is barely going to be noticeable unless we do some intentional shifting. So I think with the way the body ends here, like the real circle, like this would come through, and it would actually come up like here. A little bit of artistic license there. But I think that's decent for the second wing. And then there's the tail, which I think we might just like fudge up here It's a little bit more of an aggressive bird. I don't know. How do we feel about that versus putting it, you know, back there? Like only one of those can be accurate. I think this is more action packed having it up here than down here, but down here maybe is more like visually understandable. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you think? I don't know if you're still here, SG, but if you are, like, where would you put that tail? Don't know if you got an opinion on that. So it looks like they're pretty true to life with the feet on this chicken. So like it's a chocobo, right? But this chocobo has 2 talons on its feet. And the foot kind of extends towards the back. So we're gonna do a little bit of like, yeah, there's like some pudge in the way because it's a chick. I'm gonna do something similar over here. We haven't even gotten to the headset yet. Something like that. My back is starting to bother me a little bit. Leaning into this art like this. It's definitely fun though. I think it's a fun little guy. All right, so headset time, right? Before we even get into the color, this headset's gonna come through here like this. It's gotta swoop back a little bit and then forward. Right? It looks like this headset doesn't actually have a little like receiver microphone. So we're just gonna draw a little side there. It kind of looks like earmuffs a little bit. Something like that. I mean, I think it's legit. I'm wondering what we can do with the bottom that will make more sense than what we have here. Like instead of showing that other leg, like maybe this just kind of wraps right into that. Like the foot's coming in from behind, you know? Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, how about we kick this forward? Since we're doing that, just kick this foot forward a little bit. And that way it's like, it's a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more like it's coming at you. We can even do like T-bird. coming in hot, right? Some dynamic lining there. Make that chin look a little nicer. A little less chub, but a little more like action packed. Chocobos are fast, right? Like, isn't that what they're known for? It's for their speed. Something like that. Yes, they are fast. All right. Good to know. How about we do a very anime little 3-prong guy on the front of his head too. Like just a couple little feathers that come out in front of the headset. We'll erase the overlap. Have something like that. So the Pulse 3D wireless headset. Let's see if there is any kind of like, if it's just a built-in microphone, that's fine. It looks like the old headsets had like little pieces that jutted off, but this one very much just looks like it doesn't have that. Yeah, it's got a hidden microphone, it looks like. Okay. So yeah, no little microphone coming out. Maybe we'll draw one on there when we do digital, and then we'll give our client the option of either one. I think that'll be the way we do this. I say client, they're not paying me to do this. I'm doing it for free. Nah, I don't like the way they came out. All right, so if we take that, we start inking it. Do we have a pen for the inking? Oh no! We might not. I might have to go get one. Hold on. We're gonna take a... Nope, never mind. False alarm. We got it. Alright, so... let's go ahead and grab this. We'll start putting some detail on here. just going to be very careful to kind of follow the lines that we've already made. Keep the ones that we like. Fix the ones that we don't love. But, you know, you don't want to veer too far off of what you've already done, if you can help it. So that's actually a white headset coming through. So we'll have to find a way to make that distinct from the yellow feathers. Try to get those eyes to be a glimmer, but not, we don't want to fully outline a glimmer. If you can help it, you want to kind of run over the other colors without having to have an outline. Outline kind of takes away the effect of having like an eye glimmer. Because if you were to completely circle it, it's like now it feels like its own object. Decaf Toad Ross. I don't think that's how that works. I don't think Bob would appreciate that one, but I hear what you're saying. We're having a great time over here. Drawing our little chocobo. I don't know what makes it distinct as a chocobo, though. We're going to say it's fluffy down here. Draw a little bit of fluff. Because it's a chick, so they probably do have some fluff. We'll probably fix that in the digital one, because I already don't love how that was looking. They got some beastly nails. Hey, Joshua, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. We did some marker organization earlier, and now we're actually doing some art. It's pretty great. This is going to be a logo for one of our friends. At least that's the goal, anyway. I said that's what's up. Yeah. I think it'll be good. In fact, I think we might be able to make it a little more. Come on. This marker is betraying me right now. Make it a little thicker, but it did not come out right. Woo. Don't want to touch the chocobo with that one. All right. It was a thunderstorm. We'll see if we can up the drying speed. Apparently, there's a lot of reflection from the light above when I do that. It's like a glowing sheet of paper. We found the magic. All right. Anyway. Sorry, you should probably see what I'm doing. Here, you gotta turn chocobo. Kind of like the mirror light trick they show on the Mummy. Yeah, right? A little bit like that. Alright, so now that we have this, we can go ahead and darken those edges. Anything else? Maybe in here? Something like that. I feel like maybe 4 feathers was too much on the wing there, because it's looking a little bit confusing. But if we just find a way to make it distinct in our final art, I think that'll be good. So what I'm going to do now is some straight trickery. So y'all just bear with me, because we're about to take this and we're going to throw it into fresco. It's going to be a very simple process. I'll even like make it kind of obvious what I'm doing here. See if we can't bring the camera back. Got our little 1-to-1 here. So there, we got our picture, right? This part you can't see. You can't be witness to me emailing myself. So sorry, y'all. You don't get my personal email today. Not that anybody would really want it, but you know. Either way. We'll send it to the A for no, B for yes email as well. We're gonna send it actual size. Ooh, secrets. Yeah, like personal email. For sure, for sure. We're gonna keep this on the screen while we do this next part. Let's see here. Gmail, where are you? Now you know it's a Gmail, but that's what the A for no, B for yes email is. Also, it isn't sending very well. So there's that. Let's try a different method. I mean, it is a lot. It's like a 1.5 megabytes here. All right, download that. We'll go get Fresco open. Where are we, Fresco? Oh no. This will be great. Because now we can go back to this. And it just completely destroyed our chat on screen, but that's okay. Here we go. Here's our Fresco. Ta-da! A bunch of old projects that you guys might recognize. Whew. It also means I gotta take my cam off the stream here. No more special camera. Time for a special tablet instead. The tablet of power. All right. It's a Gaomon tablet. Gaomon. 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 I don't know how you pronounce it. It's a thing. And this is what we use to do the rest of our drawing. Don't worry, it doesn't have an internal microphone, so you know. Shouldn't have any issues there. Just got to put on our handy dandy power glove. We'll put on our little sleeve too, because why not? Make me feel like a real artist when I got the thumb holes going. All right, not actually a real artist. Don't worry about any of that. Let's see if we can find something that already has a circle like this right here. Okay. Is there a save as function? Can we do something like that? You know what? Let's go back. Let's see if we can't duplicate that. Yeah, there we go. So this one we will rename. Okay. And so most of this, we're going to do a little select multiple. Yeah, that's fine. Where's our actual options here? Delete. And then we just have a circle. And with a great circle comes great responsibility. I think that's pretty much what we want. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this. To make another circle. But this second circle is going to be a new color. It's going to be perfectly white. And instead it just deleted because we had it on perfectly opaque as well. All right, there we go. Oh. Okay, let's try that again. There we go. All right. So now what we can do is we can transform this and make ourselves a little frame for the rest of the logo. I want the whole logo to fit inside that frame. Because if you do that, then anytime you upload this logo to a site, it automatically fits it right into the circle of your profile picture. And also he can use it to like pop it up on streams and stuff if he wants to. Kind of like we do with our friend Pocket right here. Like this is our logo right here. So this is the Chocobo logo that we're trying to work on. So the next thing that I'm going to do to make that function, we're going to add a layer. We're going to move that layer down behind our, maybe actually leave it right where it is. Let's see what we can do. Because we want to import a picture. Let's see if we can't just do that from the outside in. We got rid of our Twitch monitor like a fool. Whoa. Let's go back to our stream monitor. All right, there we go. We're back, everybody. Sorry about that. All right, so then we can, your ears. I'm sorry. It just played the computer audio, my bad. Normally we don't play anything off of our computer, and we were just trying to get back to our Twitch page. I'm so sorry. All right, so it should be in our downloads. Yeah, throw that right on there. Hey, it even like kept the circle. All right, so what we're gonna do with this, we actually don't need this layer anymore. Done. So this, we'll delete this. We are going to make it opaque. It's kind of funny. And we're going to digitize this boy on a new layer. All right. So we got this. We're going to see if we can't do some like perfect line work. That's not perfect line work. But also, there's a few things wrong with our brush right now. One, we're working with a straight up 10 brush. When for a logo, I feel like a 20 is just fine. If only you could adjust. Maybe we can. Hold on. It's cruel. All right. Let's keep that. We don't want to do this with white, though. We want to do this with black. We're gonna do something like... All right, so it's not making it like a nice curve for us. Something like that. It's looking pretty legit though. We're just going very slow. Just gonna fill in these eyes as best we can. I feel like that eye came out a little bit wonky. Let's see if we can't zoom in on that boy just a little bit and see if we can't do a little bit of doctoring on that. Like, even if we just... not like that. Gotta fly through the trench. Alright, there we go. Okay. Back to our drawing tools here. That is a 10 eraser we'll deal with. We don't want that eye to show up in places where it shouldn't. So let's see if we can't. There's somebody awake in the house above us. Sure. Nope. Hello. We're just gonna do a straight up Control-Z on that nonsense. We're done with that. We were trying to draw against Sir. Can't see. Okay. That's a little off, actually. Can we... Yeah. That's not actually as much as I want to take off. So what this actually does is comes to the outside. Let's try that one more time. So it comes out here. And it's actually going to catch like the very outside edge of that. And then we got to draw like another thing that goes into it. So we're going to end up with a lot more dark space here. Let's see if we can't zoom in and like just try to clean some stuff up about that. Logos are tricky because a lot of them, like this one that we're doing, it's very toony, but you want it to still look accurate to what we're doing. So like we're trying to make what is a known quantity headset. we're trying to make like these perfect arcing lines. It becomes such a problem sometimes to do it that way. Let's see here. No, redo. I wasn't trying to do that. I was trying to zoom out. Kind of. I feel like we've lost a little bit of his head here by doing that. There we go. That helped a little bit. Okay, so then the eye needs to be whole. Why, oh why? I feel like I should give this Chocobo eyebrows. Maybe that would make it a little bit more fun to look at. Even though birds, you know, don't typically have eyebrows. I feel like maybe it'd be fun. Maybe it'd be a fun addition. We'll see. Whoa. Let's get our drawing back. So we're doing just a bunch of line work here. I thought we had another little piece of wing popping out, but I guess not. We'll leave it at that. So we could fill that in, but I feel like maybe we don't want to. Like maybe we should come up with like a gray to put in there. No, hold on, because that would imply that we really didn't do what we were supposed to over here. Please stop. Please stop with the vector erasers. I don't care about the shape of the eraser. It's already the shape I want it to be. No, I think that'll work. Because maybe we can even... do something like this. Or this will be white. The white should end right there, though. So that actually showed us another little flaw in our drawing, which is fine. We want to find them as early as we can. You know? Not that our drawing needs to be perfect. We're gonna go back on this one a little bit. Awesome Devo 6895. Howdy. How's it going? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. We're having a great time here. We're gonna do something like that. We could speak one all big thing. It's one organ, the beak organ. Is that the Devo I think it is? Have you seen us on other channels on like Facebook perhaps? Alright, let's see. We come over here. Make this wing fancy. I think that's too fancy. I think we over fancied it. Whoa, wing. Whoa. We just need you to be dynamic. We don't need you to be all over the place. So we want the tail to come out a little bit more. Something like that. Gonna make this a little bit nicer with the fluff. Not like that though. I think this part still needs to be pretty smooth. And it'll get fluffy as it gets down there. I like the bird so far, thank you. Can you tell what kind of bird it is? Birds are pretty great. We're trying this line quite a bit. It does not want to cooperate. All right. It's got a very distinct two-pronged foot. And you're welcome. Oh, yeah. Appreciate it. All right, so. Whoa. Not what we were trying to do. Gotta fix this toe. Okay. That's the other foot. Aim. We didn't draw its face. I think that's pretty good. All right, so can we do these brush strokes? Maybe. I don't think that this is the layer for them though. So we're gonna go ahead and make this. Just take it down to nothing. Nice airlines, thanks. We're gonna have to add them back in. And we need to get some shading on this bird because right now it looks flat as all get out. We don't want flat bird, we want nice bird. So let's do our fancy schmancy trick where we duplicate this boy. We add a layer in between them, and this will be our initial color layer. Please, please. Although a layer is empty, you can't adjust it if it's empty. Hold on, you gotta at least have something up there to move it around. Okay, so if Tom was here, this would be great. Oh, there he is. Hey, Tom, how you doing? We're working on your stuff. So if we duplicate it again, we can do some really fancy stuff. In fact, let's do that. So now we can like do some dump tests. See how we like different colors here. Get a nice little goldenrod. That's not a nice goldenrod. That's an ugly goldenrod. That's better. Still not perfect. Something like that. We can try to fix that yellow, make it a little nicer. It's very pure yellow, the way it is. It won't have to stay like that though. Do you have a favorite color, Tom? Like, I think that would make this a lot easier to do if we had a favorite color to work with. Because we can make this guy any color. I'm gonna do some shading and try to make it look nice. But for now, we just need like some preferences, I think. But I appreciate you coming in. And I like that you like it so far. That's very encouraging. We got 5 likes on this stream already on YouTube. It's pretty wild. I feel like we lost something with this though. Like, oh, because we haven't filled in the mouth or anything yet. Like, there's just more detail there that we still have to figure out. I don't. Whenever I ask Olivia what color she likes, it's been pink and teal. I'm gonna go teal. I think if we make the bird pink, it's gonna look weird. Like, birds don't normally look that way unless they don't have feathers. So if you make it a pink feathered bird, it's gonna be like, maybe not. But teal could do work. Teal could really do some work. Like, if we make this boy teal, he's gonna take over the world. Yeah, not that layer. This might be a little bit too bright. I feel like maybe we want something a little more blue than that. Teal would be cool, makes them stand out. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Well, let's give it back to bright. I like the bright colors a little bit better for a bird like this because it's supposed to be like a chick, so it should be sort of bright. Let me see if I can't figure out some of these other colors real quick while we do near. It's going to be a white headband, so that teal should actually have been in there as well. Yeah, because that's the wings coming through. In fact, I think one thing I need to fix here is that this feather, you would see it in there like that. Oof, hold on. Went a little bit too hard with that. Okay. All right. So that should probably just be black actually on the inside there. Yeah. That's a little harsh. Let's go back. Let's see if we can't. Nah. Let's see. Chocobo. We have a reference here that you sent. So let's see what the inside of their mouths look like. Just from the drawings, like the cards that you sent. They almost always have what appears to be like a reddish or purple thing going on, but it's not just flat like that. So let's bring it down to like a more organic looking, something like this. No, we're gonna make it work with the teal. Yeah, that's better. I'm seeing an issue here. Oh, it's like a fake artifact that we have going on the beak there. All right, so the beaks are always yellow. Like even when the bird is yellow, the beak is also yellow. The beak. So since we don't have a yellow bird, we don't have to worry about making it a distinct yellow. So I think we can use this guy. And the shading will hopefully bring this all together. So the other thing I want to do here is on this little detail piece that we got going on. Ooh, we made the beak yellow in the wrong layer. Hold on. Gotta undo that. Did we... Oh, okay. No, we're back on the layer we're supposed to be on. It keeps all of our colors, which is nice. Every day we stream, we gotta deal with this nonsense. Alright, I'm gonna block that user. Not that it makes a huge deal, they're just gonna have a bot make another one. Alright, go back, get that yellow back, put it there. Alright, time to make this hopefully a little bit nicer for what we're trying to do. Let me see. Kind of an orange. Like maybe we could just convert this to what we need for the feet. The feet need more detail. Before we do that orange, let's apply it. And then we'll undo that, but we just want the orange there on our palette. So we'll go back to a black brush. Come in here. Create some toenails. Sorry, I dropped my phone. So the toenails are actually pretty... Hello. Pretty short. I have to fix that in post. So we'll go ahead and dump that orange back in. Figure that out. We'll do some editing real quick. Yeah, we're gonna have to edit it both places. We're actually not gonna do it on that one. Let's take that one out for now. We'll just figure this out here. Why are you like this? I just want to be, I want it here. I want invisible. I want it here. I want to do editing. Why is this? Still have any? Oh gosh, what have we done? I feel like maybe this isn't working. Maybe because this is just a little too thick up here. Get that more straightened out. Come on. We're figuring it out. There we go. I think we wanted to just... be kind of like that. We're editing line work on our color sheet, which really isn't like what you want to do. All right. So one thing I'm seeing is that the beak detail here. Sorry for the crazy zoom out I just did. That's not helpful for anyone watching. Like, he's supposed to have like a little parrot cut in here. But I think what's happened is that we lost the angle that we needed it to be. So in the spirit of the problems that we're having, I think I'm trying to think how we can fix that without making it a big deal later to fix again. just gonna have to hope that this works out. We might have to do some retracing here. That should be fine. As long as it's minor editing, we should be okay. So let's do a little bit of beak erasing too. Just the tip here. Let's take this guy out so we can see what we're doing. All right. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Back to our true layer. So what we're going to do is probably just retrace the leg when we get to it. This is at 10 currently. I'm going to make it a little bigger just to make this go faster. Alright. So we'll figure that out when we get to it. For now, let's start working on some shading. You showed your coworker the fudge on your duck pin. They thought it was hilarious. Nice. Alright, so if we're going to shade this guy in this layer, what we're going to do is going to grab this. We're going to make it somewhat darker, somewhat duller. Yeah, I think that's a good one. All right, so then use a bigger brush. 32 feels maybe sorry, not anything. Irresponsible. Yeah, let's take it back down to 20. We'll just be a little more careful. What color are you going to put for the top of the headphones? It's actually going to stay white. Tom asked for a very specific set of headphones. So it might be like a super light gray when it comes down to it. But for now, it's going to stay white. What have I done? All right. I think that'll work. Just leaving it like shadow goes a little further than the actual outline. But it still like stops on a point. Can we get a smaller eraser, please? Something like that should be good. Okay. It's going okay so far. I changed my mind about this one. Let's see if we can make them all kind of like that, where they actually don't end on points. We do want it to be a little bit like have some rounded stuff going on. Just because this is kind of a toony thing right now. What is happening there? Okay. I actually know what's happening there. We did that on purpose. Okay. So then, be some more shading underneath. Needs maybe a little more back here as well. This is definitely fun. I like the concept a lot, actually. I think technically that's like the most forefront feather, so definitely don't want to like overshade. It's popping out a little bit now. Beak shadow. We might not like the beak shadow. We might have to get rid of that. But speaking of beak shadow, where's our lovely yellow? Same deal, a little darker, a little duller. I think it's starting to look like too much, because then we'd have to like actually say that on this split everything over on this side is shaded. So I think we don't want to do it like that. I think we're going to get rid of all of that beak shadow. What I will do is put it back down here and then add it a little bit to the beak as we're planning it. Where's the beak color? Where's that? Black. Something like that. Come back over here. No. Come on. We're just trying to make it a little smoother. Something like that. Can we get our shadow color back? Whoa. Wowzers. Little teal chocobo. Alright. So then we need a gray. But not like a crazy gray. Can we actually dump into here? Probably not. That was probably really bad. It wasn't even a dump. I think we did that on this layer. Excuse you, please. I think that makes sense. Can we do some highlights, maybe? Is there a way? Do the highlights in like a completely different kind of color scheme. Chocobos do come in different colors. Yeah. That's the idea. Whoa, did that do something? I don't know if I like what it did, but it did something. It's making the black look different. Whoa. Make me want to throw up. Don't do that. It's nauseating. Nothing to undo. Okay, done. Now there's something to undo. All right. So almost like a sunshine effect. And bringing in some of that chocobo yellow. It's making it look almost like it's like a iridescent bird or something. But you can't really tell what color it's supposed to be because it's kind of like a raven thing, you know? Like you can't tell that they're all the different colors unless the light hits them the right way. Like you can't tell that this guy actually has a bunch of yellow going on unless the light makes it obvious. I'm actually really liking how that's coming out. I think this one little middle hair piece needs to be a little bit brighter here. Nah, don't like any of that. I think what I'm seeing is that this middle feather is not where actually I want it anymore. I think we gotta do a little bit of editing on that guy. Like, it's pretty close. It's just not there. So I think if we bring it out a little more. Almost. Make it just super big in comparison. Okay, so then we're going to just drop our colors now. It just makes it a little easier to do what we're doing. He kind of had a bald spot going on. Let's go much smaller to do what we're doing. Come on. The colic is so extreme. Let's go back to black and go back to at least a 10. Something like that would be better. Because we still want to swoop up and kind of hook in there. Something like that. A little bit of a Mount Crumpet situation, but that's okay. We have a dark teal we want to use. Your color, you color that Chocobo decaf? Oh, you just saying you go ahead and color it, like you do your thing? Something like that. We working on it. We're working on the color scheme. Yeah. Getting cheered on. Bringing that green highlight color again. now that we've kind of broken our whole system here. Here, let's see if I can't fix our outline on the top layer. I like that. Coloring can be a little bit tricky. I don't know if Tom's still here. If he is, I'd like to know what he thinks of this shape of his little tuft on his head right now, because it's getting to be a little ridiculous, but I think it's fun, if nothing else. All right, let's continue what we were doing now that we've messed with that. Eye is here. Okay. What do you think of that middle feather on his head there, the big one that we just tried to fix? Like, is that a good shape? You know what I mean? Not really sure how we can fix it just yet, but maybe we can mess with it when you get a group. All right, you like it? Great. Okay. All right. We're gonna do a little bit of that highlighting over here. Whoa! Not on that layer, we're not. I don't think we're gonna do the whole wing though. At least not like this. Like this will be the main highlight on this wing. Just that front section. And then we'll do like these little tips because, you know, you wouldn't really actually see a whole lot of sunlight. The tail would. The tail would get some sunlight. But like only the top side of this wing would get it. Like the yellow highlight too. The yellow highlight definitely adds to it. Yeah, that's what we're going for. We're gonna say the bottom of the tail is all in shade. Like that's not seeing anything. This side of his face might be seeing something though. Hold on. Let's see if we can't. Oof. The thing we did there to try to fix it went all the way on us. We're gonna say it's like that. And then we're gonna say a bunch of other crazy stuff. None of it's gonna make any sense, but we're gonna try our best. Please. Something like that. All right, and then back to our highlight color, please. All right. That would be shaded by the headphones. Like that. I think we did say that at least like that should be. Let's change my mind again. I think it should end like right there. Maybe even like this carries through. But that's about it. We'll say the headphones come off the head right about there. We have highlight and shadow touching in weird ways, but kind of makes a little glint. And I definitely think that this over here would have a little bit as well. Okay, so we got to fix these eyes a little bit. The problem we're having is that we made them white, which they really technically shouldn't be. It should be like this. Like a very, very light gray. And then where the light hits is where it's like truly white. I don't think bird eyes tend to have like color around the irises. That might be different for chocobos. Let me see. Because that might be a detail that we need, is some color in his eyes. What color are your eyes, Tom? Looks like chocobos have blue eyes. Your eyes are blue too? All right, cool. Perfect. We can do this. Make them a fun blue first. I think what we need to do. Yeah, no, we're all right. We'll be all right. We'll figure it out. Trust me, it'll get better. I'm not sure what's happening here, because that is not accurate to what we're doing. Oh, we're doing this on the top layer, that's why. Whoops. We kind of had to, otherwise we wouldn't be able to draw over the blacks of the eyes at all. What do we get? Trust. Are you streaming tonight, Cam? I just saw that was you that said that. Let's see how that's looking so far. It's definitely coming along. I don't want to make the eyes more detailed than the rest of the bird. So I'm trying to like really keep it simple. Do you know what I mean? And it's a little bit tricky because it's like trying to cut into itself in weird ways. You like the eyes? All right, cool. Make these smooth. Try not to erase all of our stuff here. Whoa. Come on. I'm gonna have to add a layer to like really fix this. Where we kind of cheat that white back in there. Nope, don't do anything. Or what we can do is instead of using the eraser, we just straight up draw white. We're gonna make this much bigger. It's the same size as the pupil. It's like disappearing at a distance though, and that's not supposed to happen. Let's see, does that help? Kind of does. What do you think of that, Tom? Tom, are you still here? Do you like what you see? Is my next question. We've been at this for we've been at this for like a lot less time. I think maybe spent maybe half an hour sorting markers when we first got on. So we've been at this for maybe 2 hours between the pencil sketch and what we got going on here so far. Let's see if we can't. The yellow on the beak I like. Let's go back to our color. And we will eyedropper the beak. 100 out of 10. I can't ask for much better than that. Not distinct enough, actually. Maybe something like that. And let's get a bigger brush. How about a 10? No, a 20. There we go. Whoa, why did we do it this way? The shading reminds me of the beard. It's just perfection. Ridiculous. Whoa. Try again, Birdo. .3D beak. It's like a banana beak. I think it's a little harsh, specifically as it comes between the two little nose sections here. I think if we even just hit the nostril with it. Yeah. Look at that. Speaking of the nostril, hold on. Let's see if we can't make it a little sharper. We're going to mess this up. Yeah, we did. Let's undo some of that. I do agree that we need to take a little bit out, but I don't think it needs to be all that much. The whole bird is awesome. Hey, thanks. We're having fun making it, you know? Something's not right. Something like that. Whoa. Not what I thought I was doing. Just shaping that a little bit better. It's refusing to like round, which is really what I want. I think it looked better when it was like that, but I think I'm not touching it. I think that's what you got. Nope. Hold on. We can fix this. Okay. So it's going to occupy that space. However, not in that way. Let's go back to black, but a much smaller. Something like that. Because it's on the back side of the thing. I think I'm obsessing over it now, so I should probably stop. But, you know, we're trying so hard. Feet. We need to fix its foot color. Not fix it, like change it too much. Just, again, no shading. Makes it look very odd. Nope. That ain't right. Better. Remember, we don't have any outline for this one. 17's way too much. Let's try like a 14. 17's actually not too much. I'm just saying stuff. I don't know that we're going to do any highlights on the feet. There's no other thing over there. Okay. Back to black. That's not awful. I don't think that detail is going to bother anybody. We did this color for the feet, so if we just make it a little darker. And then again, back to black. We can fix it. Whoa. Let us put some of this on the top layer just to be annoyed. All right, there we go. Okay, it's looking all right. Do you have a background preference, Tom? Like, what background color would you think would work with this? I mean, I could just as an example, if I come back to this white circle that we have everything on, oh, this is gonna jack up the headphones too. Hold on. We should probably. Let's take our near white gray color. Dump that in the headphones. Like the shading on the bird's feet? Oh, thank you. I don't think that the headphones are going to get shading right now. Maybe after we add the background color, we can work on that. The highlights are green, but the background doesn't need to be green. So we have a teal, which is like a blue-green. And the opposite of blue is orange. The opposite of green is red. So an orange-red, it would not be hard to throw in there. Go back to our circle. I feel like maybe we messed this up. We're about to see. We're about to see if we just messed everything up. Red, orange. Like that would be true orange. That would be true red. So red, orange is somewhere in here. Like a brick color. This is kind of like what we did with the 3DS thing. Do not have a background preference. Okay. Oof, the bird has a background preference. No. Maybe. You know what? I actually like it super bright, but I think it's too red. What if we just do like a sunset color? Okay, so a few things are starting to stand out real harshly, and that's his eyes in particular. So if we go back to our color layer, and we pull out our the white. Let's see if we can just grab that from here. We use the eraser too much for this detail. That's what that's telling me. Back to black. I think we want like a 10 or lower for what we're about to do. Let's just fix these outlines. Okay. All right. So that orange. Not loving it. Ooh. I'm a big fan of purple, but I don't know if you want purple. If you could, if you noticed, my toad is also in purple, so it's a little bit, of a different thing here. We're just playing with backgrounds. That's fire. You like the purple? All right, we'll keep it saved. Maybe even a darker purple just to make it pop even more. I like that pink. This right here. That's extreme. Can I make a suggestion? Not have it quite that crazy. But I can get you a pink that might work a little bit better. Maybe something like that, just so that it doesn't look electric as much. Just because that's like, I mean, it's definitely eye-catching. Or maybe like even that I think would be a little bit better. Do you want extreme pink? Are you a fan of what you're seeing here? Let me see if I can't do something like really fancy for you. Well, that is actually kind of dope. Having a paper background, but that's definitely better, you said. Like right there. Let me see if I can't try to figure out a way to get this back in here. This extra detail. We're gonna add a layer. We're gonna try out a live brush. We're going to sap our dark teal for this. We're gonna make it even darker, even duller. This is a watercolor wash. Let's see, let's go back. Is there an oil? Yeah, I don't want oil. I think the watercolor wash is good. I think it's too much. Hold on. I think this size is a bit much. Do we want like a 60 maybe? Very little spacing, I guess. I don't know why there's a large delay. Okay, so I'm on the wrong color right now. Because I can probably fix that. So that's coming up. The circle that we have is like not cutting it off. I think the live brush is just too much in general. How about we try to do an oil brush? It's not coming across like the mixed media that I was hoping it would. Like, I honestly think just keeping it pixel is probably better. But we're going to make it bigger. And we're going to make it less round. Some taper. Looks fantastic so far. Just commenting on how long it takes to send until you're getting the ping. Oh, yeah, that does. Okay, so even with this brush, let's say we want to look at this. We got 3 lines going on the back, 2, 2, and 2. All right, so we did like a foot line up, way up, and then we did a pya. Oop, not like that. Like a shoo, 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 and a couple of beak lines here. We don't want the lines to disappear behind the guy because it kind of takes away from what we're trying to do. I mean, I'm liking it. I think we should try some fancy stuff. I mean, this is good so far, I think. Let me see if I can't take that pink, make it a little more mixy, blendy. Too dark. Too dark. Way too dark. Ooh, that's not. We're getting towards like cherry blossom a little bit. Which I think is a good combination with the green. Said I agree, looking fantastic. All right, so can we make these even a little more? It almost looks like a razor leaf or something. Nope, wrong direction. Favorite details are the movement lines and the feather highlights. Nice. It does look like the bird is flying now that you had the lines, right? He's coming into the action. He's diving in right now. He's playing some Helldivers 2 over here. About to come crashing in, take out some bugs. So one thing I noticed. Let me go ahead and add a layer because I want to see what you think of some of these ideas that I have here. Is that you picked a headset that doesn't have an external mic, but I feel like it might communicate the idea a little better if like we just faked it. Oh, not like that. Holy smokes, what kind of brush are we using? As if I didn't just set all the details of the brush like literally a minute ago. Back to round, no tapers. I don't know why that's looking like that. We didn't draw anything like that. Okay. Back to size, way too big. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there was like a little microphone guy right here. Kind of differentiated between headset and earmuffs. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know where this would actually come off the headset. That's the other issue. Just because if this is supposed to be the PlayStation headset, it's not gonna really make a thing. Do you want him to have... All right, so just bear with me. This is a whole different layer here. Let me look up your... Because you stream on Twitch, right? Twitchifer. We don't want this to come through. No thanks. Is it T-Bird 1992? I know I'm following you, but for some reason, Twitch doesn't seem to think I am. Let's see here. Twitch, where are you? There it is, T-Bird1992. All right, correct. Recommended stream, working on the logo. It looks kind of crazy right now. I'm like looking at my own stream on your page right now. Yeah, you like the mic on the bird? All right. So this is a new layer, so don't worry if you hate where this is going. I can just kind of like delete it. Yeah, that's already not looking great. Maybe if I did a different color, it would have looked better. There was a moment there where I was like, this might work, but like maybe if I did like a silver instead of a black. I feel like this might also just had to have been something that we had in mind from the beginning. Because right now it's like not fitting in with the drawing at all. Yeah, I don't think we're going to make glasses work just based on what I'm seeing here. It was an idea that I had. I was like, what if he had like just straight up going in? You know what I mean? Like it was an idea. I don't think it's a great idea now that I'm seeing it. So let's go ahead and delete that. We'll keep the mic though. In fact, we'll try to. I feel like you would lose the eyes. Yeah, a little bit. Unless we made him like huge glasses, but that would kind of take away from the rest of the idea. Give him some like pilot glasses or something. Giving it a lot of character. Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to lose the eyes if we can help it. I think we use like this color. All right, hold on. Let me zoom in. We're going to say done. And then we're going to at least make the microphone like a gray. Just something to give it a little more shape. And something that looks like a PlayStation microphone might actually have going on. I think the truth of it is that it should actually be down underneath a little bit too. But now we gotta fix the outline. If we come in here a little bit heavier, then it'll also act as shading, and we can also get rid of some of it because it's a little heavy right now. Why is he laughing? What's going on? Took a big Cookie Monster bite out of that. That wasn't supposed to happen. Sorry about that. Hmm. What do you think? It's funny that you said there it looked like a PlayStation mic. Well, because it's supposed to be a PlayStation headset, right? All right, so now I think something we're genuinely up against is this headset needs some shading. Doesn't need any highlights, I don't think, but it does need shading. So if we take our, how about we take a blue and we go like almost white, but not like a blue gray. Just line that joint. Have it come out to here, and then we'll stop it there. I actually don't think we need to fix the outline all that much. Trying to think of what else is off about this picture, if anything. Like the off enough to notice at a glance, because it's a logo. Like nobody's probably gonna be staring at it. How do you feel about the background color? Do you want to go back to like electric pink, or do you like the way it is? I think maybe what we have is a little bit of an imbalance going on. You said your favorite? Wait, what? No, hold on. What did you say? Headset was the same color as the headband. What if the piece that connects was the same color? Okay. Yeah. No, let's give it a shot. I like that suggestion. I like it. Let's see. So this is like being a white color instead of the. You said you like it the way it is with the pink. It's not. It is Tom's logo. Like I don't know if you know that. You're loving the background as it is. All right. Cool. Great. I'm probably gonna post up like this piece. Just as a by the by, just because we spent this time working on it. Like our video's already here and everything. Let's see. We'll make that much smaller. Let's try that. You can see it kind of just barely tripped along the black there. I'm definitely going to give credit for it. Yeah, no problem. If anyone does want something like this made, and we're not like friends, I would have to come up with an idea of what this kind of thing would cost, because this was like 2.5 hours to make, so I couldn't do this for free for just anybody. But I did have fun making it. What do you think? Is that better? I think it's better. You like that better than the solid black? All right, cool. I want to see if we can try one more thing with like just trying to balance this a little bit, because I like the color of the background, but I don't like that it's just solid. Like I think that that's kind of hurting what we're doing. So I don't know. Also, some of our teal spots got on there too, which was a little bit frustrating. But I wonder, like, let's see if I take select multiple. We're gonna group these guys, I think. Into a folder, and that way I can get rid of all of it and see what we've done with our lines here. I'm wondering if there's a way where instead of a solid fill, if we could get a gradient of some kind. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if it's gonna work. Let's try adding a layer, or even we'll duplicate this layer. Oof, we need the dropper. We're never gonna get that color back without it. Okay, 8 and a 5, don't make me laugh. That'll never do what we're trying to do. Okay, get rid of all this nonsense. Put this underneath for reasons. So if I were to like so that's a pixel brush. I think 80 might be. That's fine, I guess. We're gonna do a 50 flow. Why isn't it showing up? Oh, because it's a whole different layer again. Crud. Because we have to use pixel if we're gonna do, or we have to use vector if we're gonna do vector layers. Okay. So we'll get rid of that actually. So that's right, but that was wrong. Making the other layer opaque is considered an action. So we make this like 50, and then we draw on this one, and we say, hey, we want the biggest possible thing. Okay, so now we need this to be a little bit heavier. It's not really working. That's the other thing. I thought for sure. Like even if I went to 100%, Like, we're not that far off the color we were already using, so it's not gonna work. All right, so that was a fail. Let's bring our other stuff back in. I'm just trying to figure out how to make this. You like that better than the solid? Oh wait, no, we were still talking about the mic when you said that. Okay, so not sure how to make this really pop the way I'm trying to think of. Like it's gonna be background work. Let me see if I can't. I really hate that I got pink on there. Because if I was to like, no. Already, like, I'm losing my circle, you know what I mean? Like, I think if I did a mask, I can make it work. Let me see. Okay. So, like, there's a way to do this where it's not really coming through. It's not really doing the thing that I'm hoping it would do. It's not even, like, kind of working. I actually don't know how these masks work anymore. I had it figured out at one point, and now I just don't remember how they work. That's the problem I'm having right now. We'll delete that. There was a way, we kind of want to, well, we had people watching this stream and they got bored. They left, but it's okay. So I think we're just about there. We might have this finished at this point. Is there anything else that you want, Tom, before I like go crazy? Went above and beyond. This is amazing. I'm trying to like I really wish I could get you some kind of gradient here. But I don't know what that would take. You know what I mean? Let me see. Is there anything else I can do before we kind of run out of steam here? Because this logo is like, it's cool. I mean, it's a little toony from a distance. Like, it looks very cartoony. Just trying to like, it might not be like the most crazy thing, but I think it's turning out okay. Let's see if I can't do something just to spruce it a little bit still. Like if I was to come in here and I was to like let's say like I looked at some other Chocobo references, right? Like if you were to look at, I don't know if you can even see it. No, you can't. It's all right. They have usually like just a ton of feathering detail. Like one thing that you'll tend to see is they'll have little tufts on their chest or something, right? Like 500 is not a good size for anything. Like they'll do like a little something like that, right? But then they'll also have like not like that. Not like that either. Hold on. Let's see. What are we rocking with? Remember, this is a chick chocobo. So like you might get a little bit of detail through there like that. Just trying to see if this is anything that I would want to keep on. Let's try to do this from a million miles away and see if we can make it look better as a logo. Like what if I nah. But ooh, you're right. Just trying to see what kind of details actually might look good on this thing. Nah. Just some like quick additive. I don't hate that. Let's try to get some inspiration real quick. Because I think we can make this, I think we can elevate it with just a little bit more line work. If we just look at some like common cartoon bird details, you know, we already got the action lines in there. A lot of the feathers. I'm seeing a lot of like directional feather lines, kind of like what we just did. On the wings, it's a little bit different. I don't want the dropper. They do a lot of feathers, and we don't want any more feathers. That's the thing. Like, we want it to be readable. So if we add more feathers, it's going to actually just make it worse. But, like... no. Nope, not even just that. Hold on. Yeah, I can't seem to make any details up there look good. I think that needs to just stay what it is. Unless we did like a... something coming off. Like a little bit of frizz. Like maybe that would do something. You know what I mean? Do you like any of that? All of that? None of that? What are you thinking? I think these are a little bit off what they should be. I think that one's fine. I think the other two need to be. Nah. It's not a Snorlax. It's a Chocobo. The feathers should all be kind of the same direction. I think it adds more dimension to the bird himself. Right? And that's kind of what I'm going for here. So that felt right and kind of looked right, but I think there's something else missing here. So maybe like, nah. A little more of a midway. Whoa, midway. What are we doing? Yeah, we want more bird dimension if we can get it. I think that's the kind of the key here. I just tried to use the erasers if there's actually an eraser on this thing. I think all these tufts is a little bit much. Let's get rid of that one. Get rid of these two. We'll say the top one is clean. I think those ones can stay. That makes him look like a clover. do think maybe that's part of what's missing. He's got like no distinction of where his back is there. He's a flying nugget. It's great. What do you think? Let's get rid of that one. Just have two. I can't seem to figure out what these lines down here should look like. Maybe he shouldn't have any more lines there. There, maybe we just gotta cut into the shading a little more. It's looking a little fake. It's looking just a little fake with that one. You can't express the level of detail that's here. Just trying to make it nice, you know. I'm trying real hard. I think that might be the ticket though. I think coming from all the way underneath and trying to add like a little bit of hatching. To give the impression of like how you're supposed to read the dimension there might be the way to go. I think I like that. Better than I thought it would. And I think going at it from a million miles away was the way to do it, because now I can't think too much about like each line. I'm not like down there trying to make every line perfect. I think we're just trying to get impressions of like the way things are meant to be. Whoa, what just happened? Yeah. Having a good time here making some burbs. I mean, I think it's fun. Let me see. Let me see if there's a way to do this. Let's see. Gradient in Fresco. Doesn't have a direct single clink gradient fill. Blending colors manually, create a gradient in Fresco. You can paint with multiple colors using watercolor or oil brushes and then blend them using tools like Liquify Tool or manually smudge and mix them. Okay, so if we want to do that, we would have to start here. We would have to let's see if there's like a guide to masking in Fresco. Layer masks and clipping masks. Let's see. We're gonna try to do like a little bit of a lesson here. Learn new things.
fresco, and I absolutely new to digital art. So I have covered a bunch of things in this video. So you will be learning all these things by doing. I truly believe in learning by doing. So I'm not going to go ahead and explain what a mask is, what a critic mask is. I'm going to show you exactly what it does. Okay, so let's just get started. So once you open up Fresco, you'll see some documents like this.
So we want what appears to be a clipping mask.
Because it's saved your most used items here. So if you don't see it, just click on print, and it's going to print, and click on small postcard. Okay, so I have a color palette for you guys. So go ahead and bring it into your Fresco. So you can click on this here.
Okay, so she's doing a lot of like blending work and stuff here.
Red we chose, and bring this down a bit so that it's darker. And add a bit of a paint on your brush right now is just water. And let's use that. And I'm going to click on black here. And I'll just go ahead and draw some.
It looks like she set up the mask before she even.
So it's as simple. You can do, as many pigments as you want. So you can go ahead and hide and unhide layers as and when you go. But with a mask, it's a bit different. The mask helps you in a lot of different ways. What I do when I work.
Oh. So like if I was to take this, whoop, and make this a mask, right? I'm trying to learn this. I'm hoping that I actually had the eureka that I think I did, but we might not have. We can. It masks. Okay, so there seems to be some kind of like a way to toggle whether or not something is affected by the mask. Let's see. We're trying to learn this as we do this stream. So if anybody wants to chat and ask me anything about this, go right ahead and I'll, get distracted.
Take the light green now and go back to the velvet. Some dark mix to it of color here. The dark again. Might be wondering, get this clipping mask, and this clipping mask would be applied to the parent layer, that is this layer. This one right here. Okay. So you can make like multiple clipping masks and add texture or things like that. For example, I'll go here, and since I don't have the color, I'll use green. When you enter, and then Belgian brush. Belgian comics.
Okay, so we have an empty layer here. It worked. Okay. So that's how that works. We set this to clip, it references this mask here, and then we're good to go. All right, so now we can actually do what we were trying to do earlier, which is take this, use it for like a legit brush. What kind of brush is this? Sketching? No thanks. We want painting. We want none of that. We want watercolor. Go back to watercolor. We want wash. We want this color to be darker. Smudge. bada bing. Which now brings me to what happens if we take this and make it even brighter. No, watercolor. Do the same kind of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Do you see it? Do you see the vision? Okay, so come back here. We gotta fix this layer a little bit. We're gonna grab this color. We're going to, yep, 100% it. I think we had it, we didn't have it quite maxed out. We had it like 80 something. We had it less round. We had it like 20 some odd % round. We had a little bit of taper on the fronts and backs. You see the vision? Nice. So we're just gonna fix that a little bit. Put some of those lines back in. And that way it just looks a little more sophisticated because it has like some depth to it, you know? Like I kind of wish we had smudged the whole bird doing that, but then we would have been getting into realism, and I really don't want realism in here. I think that would be bad. We need to go back to our other brush. This. It's supposed to be out front as well. We did lose this one a little bit. These two up here. I'm kind of wondering if we were to dump a lighter color into it, if it would fix it. Almost. It almost fixed it. Going pretty wild with this. I think it didn't really work. I think maybe we just got to deal with that being a little bit lost in the purple. And that's okay. I think that's just the reality of what we're doing. I don't know. What do you think? Is this good? I mean, are you okay if we stop here and we call this the logo for now? Sorry for hitting the mic. Like, I think it gets the point across. I think it works, right? It's a little bit Toolin-esque, but I mean, it is a chocobo, so. You know, video game birds tend to look like video game birds. It is fantastic. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do then is we will go ahead and export this guy. Check logo. Nah, this is that T-Bird 1992 logo. Save that. Didn't I just do that? Yeah, it's already here. Okay, and then we'll do the time-lapse export as well. I'm probably gonna post up the time-lapse, so don't worry about that, but worth the effort. Yeah. I think it was. I'm glad I figured out how the masking works in the program. Like, now I can use that for the future, but yeah, I think the blending of the colors made it look a lot less flat, a lot more sophisticated. Sorry, I'm listening to myself in my monitors, so when I say a word like sophisticated, I tend to trip over it. Because I'm hearing myself the way I naturally would, and then I'm hearing myself with a slight delay in the headset, and it messes with the way you speak. It changes my rhythms and things too. But, you know, is what it is. So hopefully we can get that preview. We can do a quick recap of what the night looked like, and then I'll probably post it up as like a 15-second reel or something. Or, you know, YouTube short. And I'll shout you out because that's where, you know, the logo's going as well. All right, let's see. Yep, we started with a different logo. All right, not what we're looking for. So we're going to cancel that. I'm still going to export it. I'm just going to trim all of this nonsense out. It absolutely does, which I don't listen to my own stream while live. Yeah, it'll mess you up. All right, there we go. Here's our part of the video. Started with a yellow chocobo, turned to teal. Had to fix that foot. That's all eye work right there. Then we get some of the colors decided. Get our original leaves. Check out the glasses. No glasses. We don't want those. Try to figure out this gradient. Now do some line work while we regain our patience for the gradient work. There we go. Get that moon shape. It actually like turns it into almost a sphere, which I think is pretty cool. And we figured it out. And we got ourselves a logo. It's a little bit bare on this edge, but maybe you can like put some writing in there or something. Like, you can probably do that in just a regular like photo editing app. So if you wanted to like have like T-Bird like along the edge here, you could do that. Sometimes it's nice to have some space to work with in your logo, but not that you have to have it. Normally I try to have things pretty balanced, so, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, export that as T-Bird 1992 logo, but not .png. Time lapse. Okay, export complete. All right. So what's the best way for me to send this to you? I could probably just text it to you. Helps the lower part too. It helps it look a little less empty. I think so. Here, let me go ahead and I gotta email this to myself. Let's go ahead and do that. No, not like that. Here, we're gonna reply, and then we'll do that. Ba-ding. All right, let me know if you get this. There you go. And we should be good from there. So I'm going to go ahead and end this stream here. Y'all, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I know it was kind of a journey, a little bit of a learning experience. We've been streaming for almost 4 hours here, making different things. So you got it. Nice. All right. So that's going to be where we end it here. If you guys want to check out T-Bird 1992 and see that logo in use at some point, he's the guy to look out for over on Twitch. He's been doing a bunch of different kinds of streams. Definitely a cool guy to watch. So go ahead and check him out. Otherwise, y'all have a good night. I'll catch you later. Peace out.